let's move on to song number 6, As We Are. I wrote this one. It's a love song, I suppose. This one is, I don't think we rarely, if ever, played this. Maybe once or twice at a show.
We started adding it in at the end of the Lunatic tour.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
before the album came out. Yeah,
yeah. I
used
just
to
think
play
it
it
was
a lot before the album came out.
One that obviously people aren't as familiar with, and it needed more people to be familiar with it for it to be pulled off live, because it is kind of quite a long, slow build. You know, people often aren't. You know, at a live show, you need to be a bit more quick and to the point. I guess lyrically, what I was thinking on this song is that the concept of love just seems to be so much bigger than we are capable of really understanding in most moments. And the idea that we say this word love a lot in all kinds of things, whether it's romantic love or love of a TV show and all that. And it just seems to be a misuse of the word. Not that I think, you know, necessarily anything needs to be sacred, but it probably would be good, at least in our own heads, to reserve certain concepts for something bigger. And I guess that's...
Well, I think with any big word, you know, something like love or God or any of these words that theoretically should have a very big, grand idea to them, and then you use the same word for, you know, how great this hot dog was, same word you use for, I love my wife or my family member or something like that, you know. If you use the same word for hot dog and that, then...
This is Eddie Izzard.
Yeah.
Eddie Izzard, this British cross-dressing comedian who has this whole bit about the word awesome. And he's saying, you know, we use the word awesome. It literally means like awe-inspiring. You can't speak. There are no words to describe it. And he acts out this whole event of the moon landing. And they ask him from Houston. They say, well, how is it up there? And he's saying, well, it's awesome. And the people down in the Houston center say, awesome? You mean like a hot dog?
Yeah, he's previously described an awesome hot dog. Yeah.
He's one of the most brilliant comedians. What did he described himself as a action transvestite.
Yeah,
running, jumping,
climbing trees. Yeah.
Yeah, he's hysterical. If you haven't seen his act, you should definitely go check him out. There's not much more. I guess As We Are has got what I like about it is the multi-layered accordions that we did to get a lot of those pads. It sounds very like you should hear it on the Scottish Highlands or something, almost bagpipey. In the instrumental melody that's played towards the beginning or the end. I can't remember. I haven't heard that song in like 6 years. Anyone else got thoughts on that?
Well, you could just talk about the artwork, the Vitruvian Man upside down.
I think it's Danny came up with this. We were actually... we decided
I drew that.
We decided that we wanted a piece of artwork for every song, and this was when we were recording this album for the South African release, and we were down to the wire, and I remember us all kind of scrambling to try and find ideas.
The phrase public domain entered our minds.
Yeah, like, we can just go search archive.org and get all of our artwork. But Danny obviously just discovered or said, what about Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man? Because...
Upside down.
Yeah, upside down. It basically just relates to the lyrical idea that of as we are, like we cannot reach that far, meaning that we are potentially this being that is perhaps capable of love in the greatest sense of the world, but we are upside down or twisted around and not acting to our full potential. And that Da Vinci painting or a drawing kind of perfectly describes that when you turn it upside down.
Right. I think the power of this lyric for me is addressing the presumption that you can even love. You know, it's taken for granted that everybody just takes for granted that, yes, that's something you can do. And when in reality, maybe it's not something which is instantly available. Maybe it requires some assembling of yourself before you can express it. Yeah.
Man, this is deep thoughts.